And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John. With me as always, Tyler.
Hello.
And we got an episode. We got a great episode.
Yeah.
Some of our listeners asking us where last week's episode was. Well, we've been cooking.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
There's so much.
Stewing.
So much.
Brewing.
Brewing?
A chewing?
Nope. I'll say brewing. Brewing's good.
Allergies?
Oh, a chewing. Oh, I thought you were like chewing tobacco.
Nah.
Yeah.
I would never chew tobacco.
Yeah.
That's like... Here's the best forms of nicotine intake. One is cigarettes.
Okay.
100%. Did I tell you my Zyn story? Where I took a Zyn, which is like a...
Yeah, I think so.
What do you call that? Like a nicotine replacement or something?
Sure.
It's like a pouch you put in your lip.
Okay.
That's not chewing tobacco per se, right? It's close. Maybe it is chewing tobacco.
Probably, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
That's the worst form. Whatever. That's the bottom. I have never felt more sick in my life.
Okay.
Okay, I take that back. That was hyperbole. But it was top 5 sickest I've ever been in my life.
Yikes. Okay.
I had the spins in like 10 minutes. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, it was bad.
Just from nicotine.
Yeah, I think it's just nicotine.
Okay.
It felt like poison, but which nicotine probably is.
Probably, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Anyways, I would do cigs before chewing tobacco. It's pretty much
Okay.
both are bad for you. So I hear.
That's what they tell us, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know where I was going with that. No, chewing, I meant like sneezing.
Yeah.
But probably everyone else took it the other way.
Yeah.
Because that makes no sense. But we've been cooking. We've been cooking up, digesting the announcements of...
The not E3 showcases.
Yeah, you remember E3?
Yeah.
Those were the days.
This has probably been talked about to death.
Yeah.
But boy, do I hate how it currently is. I
hate
hate
where
how
it's spread
everyone
out.
Everyone wants their own spotlight
Yep.
and their own thing.
Which is smart.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Elaborate.
So my thing is whenever you talk about like the Game Awards or the Oscars or
Yes.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, all the movies, all the things are coming together and we're talking about like this medium and the world takes notice.
Yeah.
The game, like the Summer Games Fest or E3 or whatever, it could be like that. It could be showing a unified, hey, everyone is important, everyone has something to bring to the table, and it's just like a really good, solid 2-hour show of just all the crazy top hitters, like one after another and stuff.
Yep.
But instead, we get this kind of like limp noodle. Like, and I'm not saying like the show is like fine, right?
Yeah.
Like I know we were going into it. I'm like, oh, I heard this was mid, but let's see. And like, spoiler, like I don't think it was mid, but it wasn't like a banger after another. You know, like I think everyone just did like fine. But I think if you combine everyone,
Yeah,
you can get some more
of course.
excitement. You can get like, so I don't know. It feels disjointed. It
Yeah.
feels like there was a friend group in like with the video games, and then everyone just kind of grew up and did their own thing and realized like, what are we pretending? We'll just go and do our own thing.
Well, there's no incentive for them. Like
Yeah.
the Game Awards itself, you're there to win awards. And which ultimately equals more monies because
Right.
you can release your Game of the Year edition or whatever.
Yeah.
In this, it's like, why would we do that? We can have our own thing. We can set our own pace, right? It doesn't have to be live. Like, they all record them now,
Yeah.
which, I don't know, probably
It
a cleaner
feels-
product, but there's something great about the live element.
It feels like some of it felt disingenuous to me, like watching the Sony's State of Play.
Yeah.
And I'm going through and I'm like putting a lot of like thoughts down and like just dumb things.
Yeah.
And I was trying to write down like, okay, like what systems are these on? And Sony just says if it's on their system, that's it. So
Yeah,
like
well,
half
I
their
mean, you can't
games, it's on
expect-
multiple things.
Yeah.
No, I know, but again, it's not like
not user-friendly.
It's not user first. It's
Yeah.
not customer first. It's all just for their own thing, and it's selfish. And I
Right.
like it could be this very wonderful celebration together, but instead it's this fractured, like, you know, poorly paced, like drawn out thing.
Yeah.
That just takes up an entire weekend that you don't need.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess like all that being said, the one benefit is indies are getting more of a spotlight, and there are kind of like a bigger deal put on them. But like, they're also kind of being held to like, hey, we don't really have any of the big hitters, so you guys better deliver. And like, you're starting to like pump up indies maybe more so than they necessarily should be in some ways, where it's just like, yeah, okay, cool, like, you know, and we'll talk about a lot of them and stuff, and like I'm excited for a lot of them, but like, this isn't your next Halo.
No.
You know, like this isn't gonna like
Halo
replace
isn't the
Gears
next
or
Halo.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
So I mean that we're fucked if
fair.
that's the thing, right?
Fair,
You know what
fair.
I mean? We're in a bad spot for that.
I just
kind
think
of
it's
thing.
like they're putting a lot of pressure on things. They're setting some things.
Well, they need to
up.
fill the show, but when you have
Exactly.
Microsoft and Sony, the
Yeah.
two biggest console players, minus Nintendo, which also they do their own thing, you got nothing left, really.
Right.
They were still able to fill a show, but you're exactly right. It's
Nintendo's not even present. Nintendo's like, I tell you what, we'll actually put out a console the same day instead.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, Nintendo's, I don't even consider them in the discussion when we talk about all this stuff because they're never they're never there. They just do their own thing, which is also, I think, shitty for everyone else.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess the other way to look at it is, you know, you have multiple things to look forward to, I guess. But I think you're totally right, where if you combined everything, you just have this solid show.
You have a solid show that everyone can talk about. Hey, did you see this show?
Yeah.
But instead, and we just like literally right before we hit start on this, it was like, oh yeah, I watched Day of the Devs. Oh, I didn't watch Day of the Devs. It's like, okay, there's Day of the Devs. There's Wholesome Games.
Well, I
there's
can't
PC,
watch-
There's Xbox.
It was the whole weekend.
That's what I mean. That's
I can't
my
watch the
point.
whole thing.
That's the whole point.
I can't watch it all.
Have your extra shows if
Yes.
you want to dive into certain things, but there's no reason why you couldn't have kind of this like sizzle reel of like, dude, there's just so much. Like, here you go, boom, 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 boom. Like, they kind of had that, and it still wasn't like, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's different. It doesn't feel, it feels like this manufactured, like, we're doing it because we kind of have to do it type of thing. And it's not like a, and I know this sounds super negative. It's just like, it's not like this, like, really tight presentation, I guess.
Yeah. You could
I
even
don't know what I'm
tell
trying to say, but
the mechanics of it was loose.
It
Like
just,
Jeff just came out, you know.
Yeah.
And which is, you know, I don't really expect anything else, right? But,
Yeah.
you know, you compare that to like the Game Awards.
right.
Very big difference.
I mean,
not that it
Xbox-
has to be the Game Awards, but it is strange. But, and they were all there too, because like Microsoft's there.
Yep.
And they're all there.
Yeah.
But they just refuse to do it together. I don't know. I guess it's kind of standard though. Like if you think about conferences, you know, you get different companies doing their own spot.
Like
I don't know.
Even with E3, you kind of had it, but it's not like a cohesive thing. I think is the thing that it drives me kind of crazy. Where it's not like I don't know. It's just everyone took their ball and went home. It is what it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is what it is, though. I mean, that's the state of things.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't even know about Sony. It was like kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey, by the way, we have a State of Play Thursday.
Yeah. Which is good because they actually showed a lot of stuff and people were wondering like, what the heck are you doing? And it's like, oh, okay, you got some stuff. But again, how much of that is actually Sony exclusive? Like, I honestly couldn't tell you. I'd have to go back and actually cross-reference everything because you can't trust what they like put in their slides.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question, but
Yeah. Whatever.
anyways, I mean, we'll dive into
A lot
it.
of good stuff. I'm
Yeah,
so
a lot of good
excited about
stuff,
it.
yeah.
I know it's just I was a
Yeah,
little
the format of
soured
it.
by Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a fair comparison when you think of E3, how it was traditionally. I just don't think in the modern era, you know, we're going to be able to
COVID
capture that
wrecked it,
again.
and it's just kind of done.
Yeah. That's probably accurate.
I'm not saying it wasn't on its way out, but COVID.
Like,
expedited
I
it.
thought it was definitely not as strong as it used to be.
Yeah.
But because it used to be like a really big live event.
Yeah.
Like people would attend and
Yep.
you got gameplay for things.
And like you still kind of have that ish, like but it didn't. I don't know. It's not the same. Which maybe it doesn't have to be. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have to be the same, but they're trying to keep it the same, and it's not. You have to rebrand yourself.
Yeah.
Rethink it.
I guess my kind of thesis is Summer Game Fest did not need to be 2 hours long or whatever.
Yeah,
it
how
was.
long was it?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
it
like
was
2 hours.
pretty long.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a fair take. Before we jump into all of that, though, I just want to get upset first. I just want to get upset first. So I think I talked about this last time.
We're getting all the negative stuff out of the way first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're never negative, but when we are, we are negative. I've been playing Doom: The Dark Ages.
It's a great game.
Great game.
Yeah.
I've been having a ton of fun with it, and it just continues to crash on me.
Yeah.
And to the point where, like, I actually cannot progress anymore. So what was happening before was it would randomly crash, and then I would get past, like, these certain points, and it'd be fine. And then it's like these big boss fights, it seems like. And that's what makes me think, like, maybe there's just too much going on at once, and it's crashing it. But again, there's no indication of this for my system at all. Like, my frames are not tanking. My temps are, like, within normal-ish range. Like, everything you would think of if it was too much isn't happening. It just suddenly crashes, like, just right in the middle of the fight. So I've been spending, like, this last week trying to figure this out. More so just to, like, it's not even like I need to finish this game, because, like, I've played enough of it where I'm like, I know what this game is.
Sure.
I don't think anything's going to surprise me at this point.
Yeah.
But
you've done a dragon ride. You've done
the dragon stuff. I almost have a gold gun.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen all the enemy types, I think.
What chapter are you on?
Like 14, 15.
There would be technically new enemy types, but nothing that's, like, crazy.
Fair enough. I've seen a lot of the enemy types. And so it's not even that. And the story's trash. So it's like, I don't, I'm, like, not eager to see what happens.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to fix it. I'm just like, I just want to, like, understand what in the world is going wrong with this, because my first step was, all right, let's Google it, see if other people are having this issue. And while I did find some things where people were like, oh yeah, I'm experiencing crashes, it wasn't, like, exactly what I was experiencing. A lot of it, from what I was reading, was just, like, they weren't able to launch the game, and it was just crashing.
Which, any game ever that comes out on PC, you can find a thread somewhere saying the exact same thing.
Well, when you launch the game from the Microsoft or the Xbox app, there's that little pop-up that comes up that says, hey, here's a FAQ if you have trouble with this game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if that only pops up if you've crashed, because I don't remember that.
No, I think that popped up the entire time
Interesting.
I was playing it. Now, I did start playing it after you finished it, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe, like, tail end. So maybe they did add it later because they were experiencing issues, but whatever. So anyways, I wasn't able to find... There was this one Steam thread that was pretty much the exact same thing that I was going on with, but it was so poorly written that it was hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like, the English was really bad, and he's like... But it was the same thing. It's like, oh, every 10 minutes or so, like, my game crashes, and it's not my hardware because I have a really good system, although he didn't outline his specs. But there's no resolution there. They're just saying a bunch of shit. Anyway, so I'm, like, just scouring the internet. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. There's this Doom website where they have a whole troubleshoot guide.
That's part of Doom, or just, like,
no, I think it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like the Doom Slayer Club or something.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways.
The Doom Slayer Club's an actual
is it
thing? Yeah.
All right. So the Doom Slayer Club, affiliated with Doom, apparently.
Yeah.
I thought it would just be Bethesda if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't Bethesda's site. It was a different site.
They have a Doom Slayer.
Oh, they have, like,
I don't know if it's. Yeah, they have a Doom Slayer Club.
I gotcha.
You can get, like, skins.
I went to the club.
Yep.
And I tried to see what was going on at the club.
Get your unicorn outfit?
I did not.
All right, that's fine.
I went through the list. Like, there was all these things, and some of them were pretty similar to what, I was experiencing. They're like, oh, if you have G-Sync and multi-frame enabled, it'll crash, or this and that, blah, blah, blah. I tried everything. Some of it, like, worked for a little bit, and then it would crash, and then other things just didn't work, and it got to the point where, like, that was, like, step one. It got to the point where I went on, like, YouTube, started searching videos, trying all these things, and then I'm like, all right, well, how do I started just searching, like, how to root cause, like, how do I determine game crashes?
Yeah.
Just, like, overall, just, like, troubleshooting.
Yeah.
So I'm in my, like, event viewer. I'm trying to look up these codes. I'm trying to analyze these codes. It's all gibberish. I know nothing about computers, by the way. This whole experience has taught me that I am a moron, or other people are just geniuses. It's just a crazy. There's so much going on with your computer.
Oh yeah.
In an instant, It's disgusting. So I'm going through 17,000 lines of whatever. It's not even code. It's just like in the event viewer, everything that happens. Is like a new alert.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm like going through that, scouring it, trying to find out like when Doom crashes and if it's a thing. And sometimes I think I'm onto something and then it's not. It's something totally different. And then that makes me worry about like other things with my computer. It's very much like, with your own body. You start looking into things. You're like, oh, fuck. Like,
don't get
I can almost die.
Yeah.
Like at any point.
Yep.
Like everything's just holding on by a thread is what you pretty much learn. So anyways.
Also, I guess you should probably go get scanned.
Me?
I just said don't get scanned, but I think
you said don't get scanned? No, you should get
go
scanned.
to your doctor.
Yeah, you should 100% go to your doctor. Yeah. But you there's a balance.
Yeah.
Not in terms of going to your doctor, but in terms of like, if your doctor is telling you you're fine, you're probably fine.
Sure.
Not always. Sometimes it's very important to get a second opinion, but you can literally make yourself sick by just going down the rabbit hole and worrying about stuff 100%.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand. But with my computer. So anyways, I uninstalled last night. I was telling Tyler this before we started the podcast. I was like, fuck this. I'm done. I'm not even gonna try. I was stewing. I was so mad. And then I woke up with like a renewed vigor. And I just felt inspired to try to, I was like, dude, how good is it going to feel if I find out what's going on with this and I fix it?
Yeah.
And I would just feel great and like a genius.
Yep.
And so half my day today was spent just like really deep. I downloaded this thing that, what would you even call it? It like
malware.
Yeah. It analyzes dump files.
Okay.
I guess you need some sort of application to do that.
Sure.
So, and interestingly enough, like Windows or Microsoft just allowed users to access this like a year or two ago. So it's like fairly new. So I'm like, okay, so, I have this report that I get every time it crashes, right? Where it asks you if you want to send it to the whatever, the developers, whatever, which I do every time. They've gotten like 5,000 emails from me in the past like 2 weeks. And I can't access these files. I can't find them on my computer anywhere. And I don't know if that's because it's Game Pass and I don't own the game, or if they just make temporary files, or what the case is. But I cannot get these files, so I can't analyze them. And so that was a dead end. It was bad. I gave up halfway through today, and it was bad. I wasn't happy.
So end result, you're halfway through the game. You've uninstalled the game again?
Nah, it's still installed.
Oh, still installed. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did reach out to Bethesda.
Yep.
This is what I told you, and this is when I got mad last night, and I just quit because I, was very detailed about, here's everything I tried, here's what's happening exactly, and here's like what I think, and my specs, and this and that, and I do everything by the letter. And they emailed me back like an hour later with a canned, like, it's just an automated response. Like, nobody took a look at this. It's automated. There's like 10 steps. I've tried all of them, and they're so fucking dumb.
Oh, so they give you an automated. I thought it was an automated response, like, okay, hey, we'll get back to you in like 2 days.
They gave me an answer, but it was a stupid fucking answer. Like, the first thing was, make sure your system
Computer's
requirements meet the minimum specs. I was like, I literally just sent you that I have a 5090.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Anyways, like, it's one thing if you had some sort of an automated response and then like something written.
Yep.
Or how they say like, hey, my name's blah, blah, blah. And, I'm taking a look at your case. And then they send you the thing.
In the meantime, maybe check these out. Yeah.
Fine. No, this was just like, nobody looked at this. Yeah. Nobody looked at this. They sent me that. And obviously I did everything there. My driver's up to date. Duh. Like, everyone keeps asking me that. You update your drivers? Like, yeah. I updated my drivers, dude. Funny enough, when you Google crashing and stuff, that's one of the first suggestions is to update your drivers. So,
did you roll your drivers back?
No, because everyone was having issues with the last driver.
Oh, okay.
So I got to roll it back a ton if that's like the I don't. Anyways, so I got to email them back again. I don't even know what they're going to do at this point. I don't know who to go to. Someone has to be an expert at computers, right? There's someone in the world. I believe that there is someone in the world who could figure this out.
Yeah, but is it your computer? Is it the software? Is it
I don't
Windows?
know.
Is it,
I don't know how to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know how to figure anything out.
Yep.
I have figured nothing out.
So you are a victim of cutting, like kind of like bleeding edge technology. You are early adopter.
Yeah, you think it's
And now
because I
you're
have
just-
such a new card?
Yes. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But wouldn't you think that there's all these other people with 59s that say, "Oh, I'm having the same problem"? This
I don't
and that.
think there are a lot of those people out there, man.
There's people. They're out there,
buddy. I would bet you the number of people that have a 5090 that are playing Doom on Game Pass is probably smaller than you think.
It's got to be like
With
a million.
your spec, a million?
just kidding.
No way. No way.
Yeah, true, because they have to have the Intel processor.
Dude,
a
like-
lot of people with 59s have the Ryzen.
Yeah. The majority of people on Steam, I want to say, are like in like the 2080 series. Like they're like
That's wild.
like ridiculously far behind. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I could be wrong there, but it's like definitely like my 3080 Ti is on the
It's
high
still
end.
high end.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might be right. I suspect if it's anything on my computer, it's my processor, because Intel, obviously, they have problems.
Are you checking the temps and stuff on that?
Yes. The temps are fine on that too. Like it's like 60.
Oh, that's way okay. So yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
temps
fine.
are fine on that. And then I was telling you, like, the GPU has been getting hotter just because my room's really hot, but it's like 75-ish.
Yeah, which is on the high end.
It is on the
but
high end.
Yeah.
But it's not like 80.
No.
And
And
I was
even
playing
80 is
Battlefront, and it
within-
was 75.
Yeah.
The whole time we were playing, and I didn't experience any problems.
Yep.
And I was also playing Baldur's Gate 3 because I wanted to test another game that's like semi-rigorous. I don't know what's more strenuous. Probably Doom's more strenuous than Baldur's Gate 3, but
Well, it depends, because I would assume Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be more strenuous on your processor, and I would say
yeah,
Doom
and
is
it was
more on the GPU.
Dude,
but yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 was running perfectly.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ran it on my new computer, and it's like gorgeous. And
Honestly, Battlefront was a good one. I think Battlefield is a good one to check out. From
I
a
need
processor
something where there's a
standpoint.
lot going on at once.
I'll hit
a
you.
lot of
You want-
enemies.
You want one? You want a You want a processor intensive game?
Oh, Civ.
Yeah.
No, but I need an
7.
action game. That's a process game. Like, it's either a processor where there's too many things going on at once, or it's a GPU thing where it's just
Yeah, but a GPU thing wouldn't
I don't
matter.
know.
Like it wouldn't matter. Like it
don't
would be
know.
you could pull up a game that's like just you could put Minecraft in there and just ray trace something.
well,
and blow something up
Minecraft
and-
is very intensive.
It could be depending on what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's
Yeah.
one of the most intensive games there is.
I think you throw on Indiana Jones. Max
Yeah,
that
I should.
sucker out and see.
I'm gonna do Oblivion because that's also Game Pass, and I think it's kind of intensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really looked into that.
It's unreal.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna look nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think that'll be a semi good test to see. Like, all right, if I start crashing on that,
Doom's the only thing that's been crashing for you.
Doom's the only game that has crashed. I had no problems with Assassin's Creed, and that has to be
Expedition.
more intensive
Yeah.
than
Definitely.
Doom,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Now the thing is, again, there's not as much going on, so that's the only thing I think about.
Yeah,
With
but
Doom, there's a million demons, there's all these flashing things, blah blah blah, and I'm just like,
But just because it's flashing doesn't mean.
I
Because
know.
like with Assassin's Creed, you have the dynamic weather systems, you have
Yeah.
like the dynamic characters
Yeah.
and like the
Yeah.
AI and stuff in there. Where like, who knows which one's more demanding?
and I'm
would
running
assume it's
through the whole world on a horse.
Yeah.
It's got to
quickly load
quickly
stuff in,
load
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So you're 100% right. Yeah, Doom is literally the only game I've had problem with, and I just did Expedition, like you said, which is also on Game Pass. I had zero issues with that.
Yep, plenty of particle effects in Expedition.
Yeah, I don't think Expedition's necessarily a hard game to run, but
Yeah,
anyways, super frustrating. I wanted to. I was having a great time with Doom too. So it's like I don't know what to do.
this all kind of culminates to there is something to be said for picking up your
Yep.
Switch,
Yep.
turning it on,
100%.
and just being like, oh, I suspended a
Yep.
game 2 days ago, and
Yep.
I'd play it right back, and it's fine. Yeah,
I gotta buy that little pocket retro
yeah,
thing.
that's a good one
I mean,
too.
that's although that's more like a PC than a console.
It's
but-
literally it's an Android, but yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Sorry about that. That was a 15-minute.
It's all right. You got to get off your chest, man.
Dude. I'm just absolutely furious.
Yeah. No, play something else. Play.
I know, but it's like you know how I get.
I do.
I get obsessive.
Yes.
I can't get off it.
It would be
I've
different-
uninstalled this game four times.
I mean, that's how I was with Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was just terrible.
But you finished it.
Well, yeah, I kind of brute forced it, but
I can't.
Yeah,
I've been
that's
on this
fair.
boss like 20 times, and I just got through it. And there's another boss right now.
Yeah.
My god. Oh.
Sorry.
What I did was I bumped everything up, bumped my damage up to 1,000 to see if I could just quickly get through
Knock
it.
him out, yeah.
It was
Just
so
knock him out,
close.
yeah.
I could crash right as I was pulling his heart out.
Every time it's just when you're pulling his
No,
heart?
it's random.
Oh, okay.
And 99% of the time it's in the middle of combat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like part of me was like, is this a performance thing? But then there was one time yesterday where I just loaded in and then boom. Like I didn't even move yet.
Man.
So it is, I guess, kind of seemingly random. So
Yeah.
but it only was that one time. So I have no idea. I just don't know, like, what do I do to check it, right? Is there, like, an application I can run that's, like, scanning my computer, and then I play through it, and then it happens, and it's like, here it is.
I mean, you can scan your computer
I
for
don't know.
like your memory, your heat temps.
Yeah, I had my
like,
task
yeah.
manager up. I was looking at everything, and actually, funny enough, when I started playing with my settings, my CPU went through it was like at 100% utilization
Yeah.
when I bumped things down.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I was like, that's not good. But when I have everything max, everything's normal temp.
I wonder if you bump everything down, if it like eventually will just like, if it maybe, yeah, but you disabled your integrated card.
I disabled my integrated card.
Have you tried using just your integrated card and disabling your GPU?
No.
That might be a bump everything down, use just the integrated card and see if you can get through it.
Oh, because then
Then it would be
my
more
card.
GPU, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just need I need help. I need an expert. Someone would be able to figure this out.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay. I just need to know what to look for. I don't know what to look for.
It's different every time.
I'm a
you know?
blind
Like,
guy.
it's different guy. Or a different game.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. People usually have a process, right? Like, here's what I do to check this, and here's what I do to check that. And,
I told you, buy it on Steam, play it for 2 hours, see if it runs perfect.
yeah, you're right. But I don't want to do
Did
that.
you play it
at
for
all.
2 hours without it crashing?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when you first played it? Yeah, so then you wouldn't even know, really.
First time it started crashing was when I was in the giant mech suit.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a couple of levels in.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would run through these bridges, and I would just crash. I was like, what the heck?
That's wild, man.
I just don't get it. I'm very upset. Okay, we need to move on.
Yep.
I could stay
All
on
right.
this topic
Sorry.
the whole episode.
Yep.
So if any of the audience knows Computer Whiz, message us.
Yeah.
Message
Sure.
me. I need help.
Red flag.
You think Geek Squad would help?
White flag.
You think Alienware would help if I called them?
Yeah, they'd probably tell you exactly what you saw on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's jump into other games that hopefully work for me.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with on our? I have my little notes section here is definitely not E3.
Yeah, mine too. Is that what you named yours?
Yeah, def not E3 2025 games.
I think I said totally not E3 or something, or not E3. Hold on, let me see.
Well, this is my own notes. I didn't even put it in
Yeah.
our shared notes.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
I had state of play, so I went in chronological order. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
right. And this is not in the order of the show. I tried to find an article that was in order of the show, and I could not find it. So
Well, I think
this
we're
is
just
in any
picking
order.
what we
I know,
stood
but
out to us too. So
My brain was like, I want to.
okay.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
So you do that. I'll jump to.
right,
I
I'm
do
gonna
have my notes on. I posted them on the post for State of
Yeah,
Play.
if you haven't
do
checked it
that.
out, check
real
out
dumb.
Tyler's article.
It's so dumb. Okay.
I thought it was funny. Although I still have no idea what, like, you kept referencing this snowman or something, and I just have no
it's
idea what you're
it's that
talking
guy
about.
right there. It's not a snowman.
That's not a snowman.
No, I know. I found that out after the fact when I.
But what
paused
is?
it.
I don't even remember seeing that.
It was for 2 seconds in the beginning, and I'm like, oh, Frosty's melting.
Was it? Is it a mascot? What is it?
No, it was in Lumens.
Oh, it was in a game.
Yeah, and it was like this
You
weird
really
psychedelic thing.
attached onto this
I know.
character.
Well, I was trying to find an angle, and that's
It
what
was- it was
that's what I
profound.
pulled. It's, as Jeff said, canon now. So that's
Oh yeah,
it.
100%.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, so I mean, with State of Play, a couple things that jumped out at me. First of all, Astrobot. I wasn't even aware that there are so many levels.
Well, wait. Do you want to go in order or no?
What do you mean?
I literally did it in order of State of Play. I'm sorry. Was that what you were saying? 'Cause we
Well,
could do
I
that.
was saying, are you okay not? Because I
okay.
don't have it
Then
in
I
order.
am totally fine. Not. I'll just jump around. Go ahead. Astrobot.
Astrobot has so many levels.
Yeah, like second to last thing they talk about. All right.
All right, well, let's go in order.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you can't. No.
It's like
You
middle of the show.
already
Middle
did
of the show.
Lumens, tell me about
Astrobot-
the snowman.
Astrobot, they said there was like 95 levels or something, which I did not believe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was like,
call
wow,
them
they keep putting
worlds.
stuff out, keep putting stuff out for this.
Yeah. So they gave another 5 and some new bots and things like that. Are you like? Did you play all the new stuff?
No, I don't play any of it,
Yeah,
which is
neither
such
do I.
a shame because it's an amazing game, and
Yeah.
it's like you would think I should be really excited for all of these extras, which are
Yep.
free, I think, right?
Yep.
And I just don't play any of it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for all these other games, like Horizon. I love Horizon. They come out with a DLC, don't even touch it.
Yep.
So I don't even know. But
like
I did touch the Alan Wake one, so I don't know. I mean, it's like
Yeah, but
It's
Alan Wake is also different enough that it's not like more of the same. It's like a completely
well, you should play that because it is very different and weird, which is
Yeah.
great. But it also contributes to the overall narrative, which I'm just in love with. So I think that's probably a big reason why I did that.
So if they came out with like Final Fantasy DLC, you'd be on board.
I
with
haven't
that,
because
right?
I haven't played 16. They came out with Final Fantasy 16 DLC, and
Did they really?
Yeah, two of them, and I didn't play either.
All right. Well, yikes.
Although I did play remake FF7 remakes DLC
Yeah, with Yuffie.
with Yuffie, but that was that to me. You have to play that because that's a very important piece.
Sure.
Because I don't know.
I didn't, but sure.
Well, you haven't even finished the game.
I
so.
played remake. I finished remake.
You finished remake, but you didn't get to Rebirth, where Yuffie, spoiler alert, is actually the a character.
I got Yuffie though. Anyway,
In really?
in remake?
Yeah.
Or in rebirth? I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think you got that far.
I sent you a video about how this is my favorite line that,
Oh, that's right.
Cloud
I do remember
does
that.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
and I actually told her, no, I don't want you to be part of my party. And I was like,
I did the
I
same
screwed
thing.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. All right.
I just wanted to mention that about Astro. It's just a great game. I just don't know why I don't.
Yeah.
I should play more of that, but I guess maybe it's limited time.
What else you got?
Oh,
You can
Okay.
lead this thing. I'm
I'm
jumping
sorry.
around
I mean,
yeah.
All right, so Baby Steps might be the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
Like
one.
the dude's like, "Oh man, this is so funny," and he said something like it made him throw up. Which, first of all, if I have never laughed so
Disgusting.
hard that
Yeah.
I've thrown up,
Yeah.
and that poor woman
Yep.
has to sit there and not just die of cringe.
Yep.
Anyways, I just wanted to point that out. I even rewatched this, by the way. That's just burned into my brain.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's the dumbest. It's so. You know what that reminds me of? I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, and maybe from you too. Monty Python.
Ooh.
Just and I'm not even saying the humor's the same. I'm just saying like it's one of those things everyone thinks is so funny, and I watch it and I just think it's so stupid.
I would say less Monty Python and more Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. That is probably a better like 1-to-1, but Monty Python is the same feeling for me in terms of everyone loves this thing and thinks it's hilarious. Rick and Morty, another thing. Where everyone loves Rick and Morty, and I think it's so stupid. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah. I'm largely with you on that.
Which
I like Monty
foreshadow,
Python a whole lot.
They're doing like High on Life too,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
in my notes I say I fucking hate Rick and Morty. So there's a little spoiler for you. Anyways, wanted to just shit on Baby Steps for a second. Which I'm sorry.
Which it's like a weird, you just kind of like
It's one of those
you walk.
tough games or whatever.
Yeah,
like
like getting over it with what's his face.
the guy in the pot
Yeah.
with the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that at least I can wrap my head around. This one is just kind of
Well, there's no story to that.
Yeah.
Or what? Maybe there is. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think everyone just mutes that game, which is what they probably do for this game because
stream it.
it
Yeah,
just
just-
sounded dumb.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just an angry old man, I think.
It's okay.
All right,
It's
we get
fine.
to a banger though. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots,
Yeah.
which we are 100% playing
We are
now.
going to get that. Yep, for sure.
And what was the thing? Why are we playing that again?
So whenever Everybody's Golf came out years and years ago, I want to say it was on I think it was PS4, the more I think about it, instead of PS3, but I convinced our friends to get it.
Yeah.
And then we never played it. And then we all like trade our
You do
PlayStations
do that
in,
all the
and-
time.
Oh my lord. I've
Mario
done it
Strikers,
one
bro.
time. You did not get Mario
It
Strikers.
doesn't matter for me, but
I
for our
bought
friends,
Mario
they're in the
Strikers.
same boat.
What are you talking about?
You never played it with them.
I'm the only one that got it. No
Oh,
one
so
got
you got
Mario
scammed.
Strikers. I got scammed.
You got
I scammed
scammed.
myself.
Well, you deserved it.
All right. But anyway,
Armello
Mike still
is-
kind of calls it out. And
Armello's mine, though. You got me on
But
Armello.
you put plenty of hours on Armello.
Yeah, but how much better would it have been if I could have played with my good friend
Would you
Tyler?
like to play Armello tonight?
Don't tempt me.
All right.
If it crashes, I might crash.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might crash if it
Yikes.
crashes.
Yikes.
I don't know, dude.
You haven't played Balloons on your new system yet, huh?
No.
Okay.
You think I have the processor for it?
Yeah, you probably.
This thing should get me to level 5 million.
It should.
I mean, that's the most intensive thing I can think of. I mean, think of your most biggest benchmark.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Balloons has it covered
it. Yeah.
at like round 500.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
All right, back on track. FF Tactics, I'm really excited for. This
Yeah.
is another. I put opportunity on here, so I put like one word things.
Okay.
This is another opportunity, and what I mean by that is one of these old games everyone talks about, everyone reveres, and says you need to play. It's a must play, and now it's the perfect opportunity for me to play it. I get to play it, new graphics, voice acted, which I think is great, and I can switch. I think that's so smart, switching back and forth for the purists.
Sure.
Very cool. So I'm really excited for FF Tactics.
I said that I wish there was and maybe they do have this, but you can kind of pick what you want. Like, I like the old art style more. I think they didn't really redo any of the graphics. They just blended them all together, and I don't like the look of it at all, personally.
Oh, okay.
I think it looks blurry,
The
like
new
kind of just
style.
it's just like a mushy mess in my mind.
Okay.
But it's now voice acted, and they have a better UI, and like, you know, they kind of like rebalance some stuff. So like, I'm all for that. So like, I want that part, but I want
Yes.
the old pixelated graphics.
Ooh. Maybe a mod?
Maybe. Yeah. I honestly, for
Because we
that,
do play on PC.
I'm probably going to play that on Switch. I think that's going to be a great Switch game.
You can't mod it then.
Correct.
So you're stuck.
Yeah.
No voice acting.
Yeah.
Terrible UI.
Yeah.
I don't know if the UI is bad in the original.
Well,
but-
I have the original on the
of course you do.
retro.
But you haven't
thing,
played
so
it.
I have not played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like one of the Final Fantasy games. This is always one. So, like,
Yeah, people
when
like
people
it.
say the best Final Fantasy games of all time, this is always on that
Yeah.
list. So I am very excited for that.
Yeah. That's September. Right? Yeah.
Oh, it's this year? I didn't write down
September,
the dates.
Yeah, September 30th.
Okay.
This year.
That's exciting then.
Yep.
That's fun. Ghost of Yotai.
What a tease.
What
Yeah.
a tease. I'm confused actually now, but I know it's going to be awesome because Tsushima was great,
Yep.
but I wasn't. I don't even remember what was going on. Something with a wolf.
Yeah, she's like, oh, like, you ready? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, she's talking to us. And then the wolf like just shows up and then starts growling. And I was like, it's cool. Like, it looks good.
Is that like you thought you were going to be picked on the team, and then it's like they were pointing right
I
behind
just
you?
thought it was going to be like this cheeky, almost like
That's not the style of.
It's not, but I was like, okay, that makes me interested. I want to see what it is, and it's not.
No.
That comes out October 2nd, though.
Yeah.
So like
I feel like that's going to get pushed.
I was very surprised. Well, maybe.
You don't think so?
I don't think so now, because it's like, where are you going to push it to?
They haven't showed us anything.
They have a direct specifically.
I didn't know
for
that.
it, I
Okay,
think.
never
Yeah.
mind. I rescind.
Yeah.
I rescind.
Yeah. So in July they're gonna do like a show dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Because that was my only thing. I'm right there with you, where it's
Yes.
like, dude, they are not showing anything. They're like,
Yeah.
what is this game?
Yeah.
But if they are putting their own direct for it,
Yeah,
I think we're ready to go.
They're good.
Also,
That's gonna be
where are you
fun.
going to delay it to? You ain't going to do it before.
Yeah, that's a
like,
great point.
You have
Yep.
maybe till May or whenever.
Maybe
Grand
they
Theft
started
Auto
cooking
comes out.
on it when they saw
Yeah.
GTA move.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we have to get done now.
Yep.
They thought they had a free space.
Yeah, October's a great time for that.
Yeah. The next one I have is James Bond,
Yeah.
which I put meh. I
Yeah.
don't know how to feel about this. I like James Bond.
007 First Light is the official name now.
James Bond games are usually very fun. James Bond has a great track record of video games. So there's potential here.
Does he?
100%.
Does he though?
Yes.
Okay.
GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Ever hear that?
Yeah.
Nightfire. Ever hear of that one?
Yeah.
Couple others I won't mention. I think that they speak for themselves.
Okay. All right.
GoldenEye's like one of the games.
Yeah.
That's one of the games.
Yeah. It is.
That everyone's played.
It is.
Has fond memories.
Because it
of.
was one of the first ones, and then people go back to it, and then they're like, oh.
Yeah, but it's the Model T, if we go back to it, bad car. But when there's other non-cars around and only horses, it looks pretty good.
Uh-huh.
You have to respect the foundation the classics have paved for us.
How much stealth is in GoldenEye and or Nightfire? I've never played Nightfire.
Nightfire does have stealth.
A lot of it? Like it's okay, great.
Like Nightfire was okay, so I actually think Nightfire holds up very well. Because they actually incorporated, more than the
I have it on my emulator.
the X-axis.
Yeah,
you can
sure.
actually aim in that game.
Yeah.
But yes, there is stealth.
Well, the Y, but not to.
No, X.
X is horizontal. Y is vertical.
Oh, you can only move vertical in GoldenEye?
No, didn't you just say they utilized the X-axis? They always.
They
use
actually.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
In my head, I had it correct.
Yep.
Like most things.
Yes.
Yeah, Nightfire, the way I remember it, I could be totally wrong about this, but I'm almost positive. There's definitely stealth. You can actually, I believe you get bonuses for like stealthing missions and like not alerting people. There was like rewards you could get and what would you call it? Challenges for doing that kind of thing. And I remember there was always different paths you could take. So you could infiltrate buildings. There's like secret tunnels and you could sneak up hatches and stuff. It was great. So yes, Nightfire does have stealth. You should play Nightfire over GoldenEye 100%. I think it's just a better game. Yeah. But anyways, so James Bond, there's potential because I think it's one of those franchises that just plays really well for video games. Mm-hmm. But from what they showed and the premise, I was like, I don't know. It's like a origin story. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel, I wasn't super hyped. I should have been more hyped. I just wasn't.
It was like they were going back to Hitman 1.
Yes.
And just kind of like, okay, we're going to do this. And like, who knows? We only saw a little bit, but like those were my notes where like, oh, this looks like Hitman. Oh, this actually really looks like Hitman. And it was just like, is this what I want? And then James Bond looks like a very generic guy, right? Like, I'm not saying I want like Daniel Craig or Pierce Brosnan in there, but like,
you didn't like the?
I didn't like the young guy. I didn't like. Just give me a normal 007. Now, if you want to do a flashback, is it how he got it? By all means, make a level, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that's not James Bond.
Yeah, to get James Bond back in the video game sphere, I think you got to go with a fastball. And then if that does well, maybe do a prequel to that, right?
Yeah,
like a little
then you get
origin
like Tom Holland and start pulling them in like the Uncharted movie.
No.
But that's what
Stop
that's
pulling in actors for.
But what I'm saying is
that they're not good at.
But that's the equivalent. Is hey, we're going to do an Uncharted movie. We're going to do a prequel. We're going to pick one of these like super young and do all blah 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, this is not what I want from a James Bond thing. James Bond is always an adult. He's always suave and like just kind of like got together.
Yes.
This scrappy Daniel Craig was about as scrappy as you could get in Casino Royale, which I think is personally my favorite James Bond movie.
Casino Royale is the best Bond movie.
But
that'd be a good top 5.
He still turned on the charm and still was like kind of like, you know, in this, he's like this goofy, like, what does this button do? And it like blows up his car or whatever in the trailer. Yeah. Or the bike. Sure. And it's just like, I don't know if it's the right tone. Again, we saw like 2 minutes of it, so it might be fine. But for me, I wasn't like, I can't wait for James Bond.
Well, I mean, look, you have to respect them going for it, right? They're trying a new angle.
IO is great.
I always like taking those risks, right?
Yep.
Because to be fair, one of the things we always complain about is why don't people, innovate anymore, right?
Definitely.
And this is definitely a new angle, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But I agree with you. I saw that and I was like, I am not super excited.
I'm just interested because
I'm going to play it.
I like IO a lot.
Yeah.
I like what they did with Hitman.
Yes.
Hitman's guns are bad. Like the
gunfire
firefight is bad.
And that's going to be, unless it's a stealth game,
it has to be more stealth.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
which would be cool.
It would be, but it's like, is it?
You can do stealth and gadget focused, maybe.
For me, I guess so.
Yeah.
Which would be very Hitman, but then is it too Hitman?
Is it too
Because
Hitman? Yeah.
visually,
It's like a single player
it looks
Hitman.
like that. Yeah. Well, Hitman is single player.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know why I said that.
Okay, well, that's fine.
More narrative Hitman, maybe.
It would be
Hitman have a narrative? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hitman does have a narrative. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's fine.
I thought Hitman was just like, here's your target, you go after him.
That's the overarching thing, but then there's like some like
so what I'm
betray him,
trying to
he
get
betrays
at is
people, it's the whole
like
thing.
this is more nuanced than that.
It'll have more of a narrative, I would assume.
Yeah.
I would hope so. And I would hope that there's a little bit more interaction between the characters because Hitman's very just like Master Chief, like, what's my target arm?
Speaking of Halo.
Yeah.
Halo's dead. Halo's cooked.
Oh, yeah.
Halo's cooked.
But you know what's not dead? Splitgate? Is that on the State of Play?
I don't have it.
Okay, we'll talk
So
about
I
it
don't
later.
remember
We'll talk
it.
about it later then. No, that's fine. It's
Go
not
for it.
It's not on State of Play.
It's not on State of Play?
No.
I don't even have it on anything.
Oh, okay.
So I don't remember. I
Don't
didn't
worry
even think
then.
about it.
Yeah.
The next thing I had was Marvel not versus Capcom.
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
Tolkien?
I
No,
don't-
Token.
Yeah.
Marvel Token Fighting
It
Souls.
looks wild. That's the notes I have.
Looks
it looks
awesome.
wild. It looks awesome.
Yep.
I really like the presentation they had for it where they talk about how they made it their own.
Mm-hmm.
Very fresh take on a lot of these Marvel characters. Obviously, huge Eastern influence on their design and things. And
Yeah.
it looks cool. It looks really cool. Now, this was an interesting thing to follow. So, one of the people I really like watching is Maximilian Dude, who's big fighting game guy. He does other stuff. But he's a huge Marvel vs. Capcom guy. Like that's, I think his favorite fighting game of all time, or one of. And so the fact that this is confirmed, it's a very bittersweet thing because it's like, wow, what a surprise. This looks great. Pretty much confirms nail in the coffin for Marvel vs. Capcom. Because Marvel's obviously just isolated. Unless they do like a crazy bring them in, which would be wild, but...
That would be great, but I can't see Capcom being like, "Oh, we're just
they're not going to give it up."
Characters,
yeah, right, exactly. So it's dead.
Yeah.
So in the fighting game community, I think there's a little bit more not knowing how to feel about it for us casuals / Tekken players. Exciting. Not that I'm a huge fighting game guy, but really cool 4v4.
Yep.
Seems insane.
Yeah, I love they're like, oh, we did 2v2 and 3v3, and then it's just 4v4.
Yeah, right. Like it's just like that's just one step more. It's just one number more. How bad could that be? Yeah. But it seems wild. Like my brain doesn't even know how to compute that really. I mean, 3v3 seems like too much for me. 1v1's honestly too much for me in terms of fighting games, but
that's the whole thing is like if that's the rationale is like, I guess we're just gonna go with the bigger number, then what should we expect? 5v5?
Exactly. There's a diminishing returns eventually, right? You can't just keep number go bigger, but I am very curious. They were describing it as, there's different styles of play. You can just main one guy and just have supports. You can do various different tactics. So I'm curious how that translates to gameplay, but I thought it was very cool.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great.
Not necessarily a game for me, but a good game for the industry.
Yeah, I want to check it out. They also announced their wireless fight stick for PlayStation.
That's right.
So
that was earlier in the show, but yeah.
So I'm excited for
Are
it.
you actually getting that?
I don't know. We'll see.
We should boot up Tekken again.
We should.
It's a great
great
game. They added stuff. Like Nina has all these new moves.
Yeah, so does Law.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got to learn those. Yeah. Anyways, next thing I have is Pragmata.
Yeah, that's the second thing they showed.
The only thing I have on this, the only note I have on this is I thought it was Death Stranding at first.
Yeah.
I thought it looked exact. I was like, oh, the baby's like grown up a little bit. This is a little girl now. Like, I couldn't be the only person who thought that.
Yeah.
Anyways, the only thing I know about this is apparently they've been talking about this game for a very long time, and then people just thought like, oh, it's never going to happen. So this was apparently a big deal in some circles. I am not in one of those circles, but that much hype, intrigues me a little bit. So that's why I put it on my radar.
It's interesting because if it was so essentially there's this like girl, presumably AI robot chick,
yeah,
right?
Sounds like it.
That just hangs on to your back.
Yes,
and like you have
like
your
another game.
combat
I
and
can't.
stuff.
It's escaping me right now. But there's another game where you put an infant on your back and traverse.
But it's like there's a lot of
on PlayStation as well, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games like that where it's like, okay, I'm the spaceman. I have you look almost like Dead Space guy. Or you look like Death Stranding guy.
Yep.
And if it was like a robot on your back, or if it was like like whatever, like like your Jedi game, like your Star Wars game, like the Outlaws or whatever.
Yep.
So like
you have your little companion.
Been done. Yeah, it's been done. But for whatever reason, this just was kind of. It looked neat enough, and the gameplay looked neat enough, and like I was kind of drawn into it. Where I'm like, okay, like let's check it out. Like, yes, of course, the corporations and the AI and everything's taken over, and it's all bad. And
yeah,
cool. But gameplay wise, it looked interesting.
Yeah. So I did have a note on that. Romeo's a Dead Man might have like the best trailer of the day.
Really? Okay.
It was so weird. I don't know. It just drew me in. It was a good trailer just because it was intriguing. Mm-hmm. Like it starts off in this weird art style, and you're like, "What is this? This looks like some indie game thing," which I guess it is an indie game thing.
Yeah. Really choppy. Like animation, like kind of like weird animation looking thing.
And then the dude's like dying, puts something through his face.
Yeah, blows his face up.
And then you see what the actual game looks like.
Yeah.
I imagine that the game probably has varying art styles throughout it.
Definitely
like
looked that way,
yeah. Maybe like the cutscenes or like the intro and stuff. But once I saw the gameplay, I wasn't super impressed. But it does look like a fun game that has a lot of craziness.
It looked like you played like Dead Rising, like it was old Dead. Like you're in like a mall. I think one of them
Chainsaw Lollipop.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Is
just
that
like
what
this, yeah. It's just this very Lollipop
Chainsaw, I think probably is whatever.
Which Michael Rosenbaum plays the disembodied head.
That's right. I did know that
he did Lex Luthor.
Yes.
And Smallville.
And there's our daily Smallville.
It did remind me of just like, okay, like you're just this overly bloody, like you're just going around just slashing and stuff. And like I like the gameplay of it. I didn't really care for the
Oh, you did like
cartoon.
The gameplay of
I
it.
liked the gameplay. I didn't like the cutscenes.
The gameplay looked a little slower than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, maybe. But
like for that, I just want you to go crazy, just destroying everything. But not that it looked bad. I don't know. I thought it was just going to be super over the top, and it was just over the top.
Or maybe they're holding back. And
apparently, that guy is well known because I was watching some reactions, and they were like, "Oh, like someone was reacting to it. It's like, oh, this looks like blah blah blah," and then it was blah blah blah, and they're like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah.
And I don't know what he did, so I got to be better researched on that. But apparently, this person is known for other things,
like No More Heroes or something.
No. It was something. I'd have to.
Okay.
I'd have to relook. I should have came ready with that, but interesting. Anyways, I had that.
Yeah.
I had two more things here. Sea of Remnants.
Yep.
This could possibly be the most Tyler game of all time, or one of. I just was thinking of you the whole time when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And this was the pirate one with like the wooden people.
Yeah.
Didn't it look beautiful?
It did.
The lighting?
It did.
But then the character models look, obviously they're doing that intentionally, but anyways, how did you feel about it? Since I was thinking about you.
It was a roller coaster. So the very first thing I wrote was Tyler ass game, ?
Yeah.
And I was super into it, and it looked like there was some stealthy things. There was some in it, but then it went into like RPG turn-based stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like maybe not what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But you have your ship sailing, you have like that type of combat, you have, I guess, some sort of stealthy stuff. So like it looks interesting. We keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I like the art style.
I thought it was an interesting premise.
Yeah.
Not even premise, just visual.
It looked very, like, the sailing around looked like it was like, take CFD, you'd be like, pull it third person and
dude,
it
looked nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll give Sea of Thieves a run for its money for best water.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, maybe.
I mean, look, it's Someone's going to beat Sea of Thieves at water at some point in your life.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves 2, maybe.
Sea of Thieves 2 will never happen.
Cheeseburger?
Yes.
Ooh. Never happen?
Never.
All right, done.
That's a good cheeseburger. All
That's
right,
a great cheeseburger.
Let me put a cap.
I'll take the field.
What how long?
Until I'm 80.
Well, that's pretty much forever.
Yeah, well, okay. Whatever.
What about next 20 years?
20 years?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Next 20 years?
No, because there's
25 years?
They just put out season 17, 18.
25 years?
25 years? I'll do 25 years.
All right.
Still doing this in 25 years?
25 years.
Yeah.
2050.
2050.
Sea of Thieves 2. I win one cheeseburger.
Done.
Excellent.
Done. The cheeseburger will be like
I'm playing
$15.
the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the currency will be cheeseburgers of the world. Last thing I had is Tides of Tomorrow, which didn't really look that good.
Tides of Tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
very interesting premise to me. I like this idea of like, oh, everyone's made, you know me, I like choices in my games. And now it's like this multiplayer thing where, oh, you can see what choices people made. It affects you. I'm just curious how that works.
Yep.
And how fun that'll be. But I think that's a cool concept.
So I was curious if this would count as a Bridges game. That was my note.
Yeah.
And whenever Death Stranding came out, they were like, oh, this is a Bridges game. And it's like you're bringing people in and you're kind of doing that stuff and you're like influencing other people's games.
Right.
I wonder if this counts as that type of genre.
It's similar.
The art style's interesting. I don't
Yeah,
hate
it wasn't
It's
impressed.
It reminds me a lot of like Far Cry. I want to say Far Cry 5, 6, 7?
It reminds me of Brink a little bit.
Reminds me of Brink. But
I'm not even trolling.
But more, like I thought it was like Rage 2. A lot of pink, a lot of neon colors, stuff like that.
Like spray paint.
Yeah. I thought it looked fine, but I still don't know what the game is. That's my main thing.
Choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, yeah, but like what choices? Because it's like...
one's like, kill this guy or don't.
But one of the thing was like, oh, hey, we need your help. And you're just like, hell yeah. Or why would I do that?
Yeah, that seems like...
But it's like, okay, so you're going to do it regardless.
Just turn down
the
quest.
So,
unless... I always pull out hope where there's just another campaign you can go to.
Maybe.
Or another faction. Maybe it's a faction thing.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's possible.
We'll keep an eye on it.
It's not in the top of my list, but I wanted to just call it out because I think it's an interesting premise.
Yeah.
That's all I had for State of Play.
I had a couple more.
Yes, keep going.
Lumens Arise. So people that did Tetris Effect.
Yes.
Love Tetris Effect.
You love
it. The definitive Tetris game.
you eat that game up.
I do.
Like
I
it's
suck
dog
at Lumens.
food.
Well, it's some
And you're
sort
a
of
dog.
Food. I'm a dog.
And you're a dog.
Anyway. Lumens Arise. I like the fact that they're going to do kind of like a definitive version of Lumens. Boy, do I suck at Lumens. So...
Yeah. That was in your article.
I'm going to get it. It wasn't my article. I know. I'm kind of using my...
Oh, you're using your
notes.
article.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. So...
Great article. You should read it.
You can get
everyone listening
on glimpse of my mind.
Couchco.games.
Nope, couchcompany.games. But we're good. So Lumens, I'm gonna play. I'm excited for that. Silent Hill F. It's worth mentioning, but like that game just looked like
I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
which is why I didn't mention it.
Great.
Also, it's probably Silent Hill F, but that's a forte.
Okay,
because it's like this. It's like
sure.
So that's how you mark a forte in music.
They call it Silent Hill F though, right?
Dude, I don't know. You're probably correct.
I think they did. I don't know. Anyway.
It's Japanese, so it's who knows.
Yeah,
it could be anything.
Hirogami is one by Bandai Namco. I like the art style. It's kind of like this top-down, like action.
Yeah,
game.
you like those games.
Yeah, so I'm into that.
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound looked super cool. Like it's like old school.
Oh yeah,
pixely.
Definitely not me, but yeah.
Yeah. So I liked that. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. It's interesting where it's like, well, that might be worth having like all of them. Like if they do it right, like I'd like to see what a collection like that looks like, but it is what it is. You didn't really care about Metal Gear Solid?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never played a Metal Gear Solid.
The more I look at it, the more it looks like a remaster that's just like, it doesn't look as graphically
I should care about Metal Gear Solid.
It should be. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
it doesn't look as impressive as it should.
Yeah, like I keep thinking about like Phantom Pain and how that played and the just the mood of it and everything. And this one is just like, yeah, it looks significantly better than the original, but it's like I just played the remaster of it, and it's like they already remastered it, and it's like how much better is this going to be?
Maybe too close together. Or...
It just doesn't seem like it's like that big of a jump. Similar to the not to jump ahead, but like to the Gears of War Reloaded or whatever they append to the end of the game.
Yep.
They already remastered it. They already made it like kind of this thing, and now it's going to be like another one. It's just confusing.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was this.
It kind of is,
thing.
but they still added some extra stuff.
Oh.
It's like it's
so you were wrong.
Yeah, like they're still
so it's a new thing.
Technically
that we can all get.
Technically, yeah. Well, it's on Game Pass, and they're building it as such.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So anyway,
I should be excited about Metal Gear Solid because I was talking about the same thing with Final Fantasy, right? Like these games I missed as a kid. But if it was Metal Gear, like the first one, I think I would be more intrigued. Because then I feel like I'd be jumping in at the start.
Yeah, but you would have to like really. It's tough because 3 kind of is like the order of stuff. It gets a little weird, I believe. And whenever I played 5,
I'm not even talking lore wise, although maybe that's very important.
Yeah.
I'm just talking like seeing the progression of the series. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
but maybe I should be excited. I probably will play it. I probably will play it. I just didn't have a note on it.
Sure,
because we've seen a lot of it. Actually, we've
at this point
we've seen like no gameplay, but we've seen a lot of trailers of it. Yeah, exactly.
Thief VR. I actually really want a Thief game.
Yeah,
like I really want like a stealth steal things game. So I'm not gonna play that because it's VR, but I was excited for it. And then Sword of the Sea, which I'm just surprised you didn't mention. Guys made Journey. They're coming out with this, and it's basically like you're surfing on your sword.
Yeah,
and going around and doing it.
I didn't play Journey,
which is
sad.
Yeah, it is sad, but
it is sad.
I love it.
When did Journey come out?
PS3,
2010.
Sure, something
2009.
Around then.
Okay. Yeah. And it was on Xbox as well?
No, the PS exclusive.
Okay, I didn't have a PS3.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I had an Xbox 360. Yep.
That was just one of those like, oh, I wasn't expecting, and then it just like was like kind of this
PS3.
Like, yeah.
Oh, and a 360.
Yeah,
dude,
you're for GameStop, man.
You're a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
I'm a fraud. I just show up every week, complain about my games crashing.
All right. So Sword of the Sea, I'm excited for that. I just like, I'll buy that. Absolutely.
You should be. You definitely should be. I tried to just limit things where like if I have a thought, jot it down. If I don't, yeah. Just so we're not going through the whole thing.
No, that's it. That's what I got for.
No, that's good. That's good stuff. Check out Tyler's article on couchcompany.games.
It's like barely an article. It's like, hey, I'm just writing down
thoughts.
what I'm thinking of.
It's funny. You got a few chuckles out of me and confusion, which is good.
Sure.
Summer Games Fest. Let's move to Summer Games Fest.
Real quick before we do that, do you mind? We already talked about what was it, baby steps or whatever, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me talk about 3 things real quick.
Oh, okay.
For Day of the Devs, and then we can kind of just go into Summer Games Fest if
Yes.
you're cool with that. So, there are a couple indie games that I thought stood out. First one being Snap and Grab. It's like one of the first things they showed, where you're planning heists, but you don't actually do the heist yourself. So you have kind of like a team, and you go in and you take a whole bunch of pictures of like, okay, photograph the thing you want to steal, photograph anything that could get in your way, photograph things you could use as diversions and all of this stuff. And basically you take a bunch of pictures and then plan out your heist, and you let your team just goes and does it, and you see if you're successful. And I thought that was a really clever thing to do. Don't love the art style, but I think like the game mechanics could be really cool. So
that does sound cool.
Snap and Grab, I'm kind of interested in that. There's a game called Big Walk, which is they showed it I think last year at Game Awards, but you're just like walking around doing like puzzles, like in kind of this group setting, and it's all proximity chat. So if you want to think like Repo or anything like that, like it's just something you kind of hang out and just play with a group of friends, which might be interesting and fun. So I thought that was really good. And then finally, Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, which if you looked at the original Moonlighter, you go into dungeons like a roguelite type thing, fight monsters, collect their body parts, go back to your shop, sell them to upgrade your gear to get further into a dungeon.
Yeah.
I love that loop.
That's very Tyler.
This one, well, that was very pixelated 2D,
Yeah,
like
yep.
you know, like and this one's like this 3D, gorgeous looking thing, super like open, where it's like now it's like a almost like Hades-esque thing where you're like getting like power ups as you're going through the dungeon that are randomized and stuff. It looks incredible. There's a demo on it, so I'm very excited to play it. But that might be one of my most anticipated games, which is coming out in the summer. So I'm very, very excited. I hope that's a good game.
Okay.
So those are the ones that stand
I
out
love
to me.
when you get excited.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
That's going to be another one that I'm like, if I can get that on my Switch and it runs like 60 frames and looks real good, like, dude, that is, I'm down. That's what I'm going to do.
Perfect. All right, let's get into Summer Games Fest. So I'm going to start off with the end.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
This is the last thing they announced.
Sure.
So Resident Evil.
I don't even have that written down. Sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I thought you liked Resident Evil.
Yeah, Requiem. Yeah.
Requiem.
Yeah.
It's a good title.
It's, I think they said, okay, give me a word with a Q in it because we got to put the 9 somewhere.
Yeah, but Requiem is fancy.
What does Requiem mean?
Requiem is... All right, let's look it up. It's a good meaning, I promise.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe it really kind of dives into what the game's about.
Okay. All right. Requiem is a Latin word for rest, and in modern English, it most commonly refers to a mass for the dead, also known as a funeral mass or requiem mass.
There you go. Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Requiem.
I should know that because there's a lot of pieces that are requiems. They write it for the mass.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I thought it looked interesting. I have high hopes. I think the last couple Resident Evils were really good, right?
Yeah.
Village was great.
That's what people say.
And the one before it.
I don't like horror games.
Yeah, I mean,
so it was
Resident
very
Evil
new.
is
People loved it.
One that's, because I played them as a kid. So it has a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah, I like third person. I don't like first person. So if
this
it's
is first.
Well, yeah, because they got really good with the 7 and 8, and I get that. I understand that. But like Resident Evil 2 remake, loved. And
4?
the 4 I loved.
Yeah. I like that Resident Evil always changes things up.
Yeah, and they were
And
pretty
keep it
competent
fresh.
with it.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 was... I actually
5
enjoyed
and
5.
6 were the weak.
6 was rough. Yeah.
Were bad, right?
Yep.
Yeah. 7 was... Which one was 7?
Village.
Village?
Or no. 7... Yeah. Wait.
No, Village would be 8 because that's VII.
Well, no. VII is 7. So I think it is Village.
5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
VII.
Yeah, what was the one that just came out?
I don't remember.
Whatever.
Probably Village.
Well,
There was one with
8
the...
came
There
out.
was one... Isn't there one with like the family?
Yeah, that's the 7.
That's not Village, though. Village is the one with the vampires and the woman.
I have no idea then.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be good. Maybe. It looked interesting. I was intrigued. Chalk me
Yeah, are you
intrigued.
gonna play it?
Probably.
Okay.
That's a big event. A new Resident Evil, I think
Great.
that's a big event.
I can't wait to hear all about
You
it.
got to play it.
Yeah.
You're not going to play it?
I mean,
What if it's good? What if it's good?
Well, then you pull it out
Is
and
it a wait
you
and
tell me
see?
it's great. Yeah, it's wait and see for me. Dude,
Wait and see.
it's the scary bits that I don't
I know,
like.
but I'm trying to try new things. I'm trying to be a little more brave. I'm trying to put on my big boy pants.
Can we talk about the game that I'm going to brave because
All right,
I'm
do
just
it.
so excited about it is Ill.
Yeah.
That game looked nuts.
I had my notes were ill looks sick,
Yeah.
which is pretty funny.
I don't think I know of another game that if this was actually gameplay and if it, was
It looked like
kind of
gameplay.
staged, it did.
Yeah.
The way that you're shooting these like zombie creature things and the way that they are responding to your bullets is insane.
Yeah, it looks really great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we'll see.
They didn't show a lot, right?
No.
Like it's like,
They showed
could be
enough though
terrible.
where you're like, wow, that stood out, right? Like we're watching this
graphically
pretty much
yes.
pooping on everything.
Yeah.
Because we're just two old
Angry,
Muppets.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, that looked really good.
Yep.
That looked like a really cool mechanic.
Yeah.
It's not even a mechanic, it's more of a system.
I think that if it pulls it off with how good it looked, it would set the bar for every shooter, going
zombie
forward.
Thing that comes
where
after
it's
it.
like this is the level of, because like really like Dead Space is probably
the best
up there.
Yeah,
it's up there.
It has to be. But those things are designed. They're not like typical zombies.
Exactly, but
it's designed for you to shoot parts off and stuff.
Yeah, but it's still blowing it out of the water of like
100%.
So
it's because they're very intentional about it.
Yeah, but that's what makes the shooting good. I
would say Resident Evil's like that though, in a way.
It's in a way,
yeah.
But it's
like 4 is like there's gameplay attached to it, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Where you have to shoot.
But there's still a lot of like you shoot them in the face,
and, for sure,
like,
and
they just stumble backwards. They don't. Their heads don't.
There's a canned animation.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, so
I'm excited. So that is also outside our comfy zone.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I had a couple ones that kind of go together here. So Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Little co-op action. Looks really fun.
Yep.
But with that as well, there's also a Lego co-op game. There's a lot of co-op games.
Yeah.
I think everyone's trying to cash in on the split fiction.
That is not what I thought you were going to group up.
I think so. 100%.
Okay.
I think everyone's like, wow, look at this. Like, especially the Lego one.
Yeah.
Because aren't you on the same screen and stuff? And
well, when you said like, oh, Scott Pilgrim, I'm going to group a couple of these up, I thought you were going to talk about the Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
No,
where they're both side-scrolling pixel.
Yeah, but I'm
beat-em-ups.
just thinking co-op.
Yeah,
I didn't even remember the whatever you just said.
Well, that's because you thought it was Marvel Cosmic Universe,
which is how uninterested in that game I am.
That's fair. It looks good. I'm excited for it.
That is not the best Marvel game that they announced. That's not the most interesting Marvel.
Correct, but it might be the one I have the most fun with. So we'll see.
Well, look, man, you have fun with things that
most people don't like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually probably not true.
I don't think it's true.
No, it's not true. I don't know. You like good games.
I do. Yeah.
Just not chalk games.
Yeah.
AAA.
Yeah.
I'm excited about those.
The Lego game,
Scott Pilgrim's fun.
Scott Pilgrim looked great.
Yeah.
I think the Lego game actually looked really great just because it was very interesting.
It's not what I thought. I thought it was going to be, I was talking to you about this. I thought it was going to be like Lego Halo. something so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It was not. It was like just actual Lego.
Yep.
Puzzly, which I'm not a puzzle guy, but if I have a buddy, I have a better chance.
Well, it was like, hey, remember
good.
when we said split fiction should just be this type of gameplay the entire game?
Yes.
And then it's the Lego games like, okay, fine, we can do that.
Legos.
Yeah.
So that looks cool.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I just had one more thing. Death Stranding. I just don't think I'm smart enough to understand Death Stranding.
I was shocked at how uninteresting that trailer was for Kojima doing something.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm lost in the sauce, that's what they say.
Yeah. I'm going to play it.
I know you're going to play it. I should play it. I don't know if I'm going to play it, honestly, at this point. If it gets amazing reviews, I feel like I have to play it, but I didn't play the first one.
Yeah.
So it's like, is a recap video going to do it justice? Am I too far gone? There's a lot of question marks here.
Yep.
And it's a PS5 exclusive.
For time. I'm sure that's going to come to PC. But they'll have a director's cut, I'm sure.
Not by Game of the Year.
No. Not by Game of the Year.
Which is
all that matters.
I'm always, for me, which
that's
is
fair.
Probably
that's
not
fair.
the correct way to look at things, but it's how I look at it.
No mouse PI for hire.
Oh, I forgot that one.
Yeah.
They didn't list it on the article I was looking at.
Yeah.
That one looks sick. That's been on my radar for a while. I was telling you about it.
Yeah. Which I had no idea what
they had
that
this black
was.
and white thing come up, and I was like, "Oh, this is the Mickey Mouse first-person shooter." And your face was like, "That is not a sentence that's ever been said."
Yeah,
and I'm like, exactly.
Yep.
And it was, and it is, and it looks awesome.
Which, I'm in.
That's a game that's like, this should be a game, and I'm glad it is going to be a game.
Yeah,
and I just hope it's good.
It looked good.
Yeah, I agree that's a good call out.
I do so Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It's just a side-scrolling beat 'em up or Universe. Either or. They are pretty good.
I just went DC Universe. That's just a.
Did you Felt That Boxing is another one that just looks super weird.
I kind of hated that.
It's like puppets fighting,
yeah.
And it looked like graphically it looked really good, but it looked like a
I think
Punch-Out game?
I think it was real. I think they were just filming puppets.
Maybe.
No, I think they were just filming puppets.
Or it's really good looking.
No.
What if it was really good looking?
No, I think they were filming puppets, and then you know how they, those games where it's like you're filming something, and then you just put a backdrop of a video game on it.
Sure.
I think that's what it was.
All right. Well,
I never played Punch-Out, so I don't know.
Punch-Out's very fun.
Really?
Yeah, I have it on the emulator. You can play it. Lego Voyagers was the full title of that Lego game. If anyone wants to look it up. The only other one I really star. Let me make sure. There's I think it's Minta is the kind of Zelda-like coming from the people that made Shovel Knight. So they kind of made a
Minta.
I think it's Minta.
Minta.
Minta. Minia. I don't know.
Minta.
I'll look it up.
And
But
which one was? Oh, Shovel Knight. Yeah,
Shovel
you
Knight.
love
So,
Shovel Knight.
Yeah, Yacht Club Games.
I was gonna put that on there.
Yeah,
But I
looked
knew you
good.
were gonna put it on there,
I was
so I
excited
didn't.
to play that.
Yeah, that's what the chick in the
Yeah.
red dress.
Yeah.
Something about her mom. She has mom issues.
Yes. There's always parental issues in video games. And then the last one.
Is that true?
I don't know. The last one I have is
On the Lego game.
War for Westeros, which is Game of Thrones.
Yes.
RTS.
You're very excited for that.
Yeah.
And
I was
you're
like,
still excited for that.
Yeah, I'm kind of
How
into
giddy
it.
you are.
Well, look, man, nobody makes RTSs. So like the balls you have to make an RTS.
The StarCraft
about
people are
something like
making one.
Yeah, but it's not going so hot. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. They're
Doesn't seem to be.
monetized. It's a weird monetization scheme they
Very,
got going on there.
very interesting. So
Yeah.
this might be the one to bring it back.
I like the RTS spin-offs. So Star Wars did one, Lord of the Rings did one. Like you have all of these kind of like offshoot RTSs with these
World of
properties.
Warcraft did one. 3.
Well, that's yeah, sure, fair enough.
How mad that just made so many people is awesome. Depending on how old they are.
But the fact that
There's 2 people that respond to that.
Yeah.
One is just super angry.
Yep.
Because they're old enough.
Yes.
2, they're confused
And they don't understand
because
yeah.
there's World of Warcraft RTS.
Yeah. There is.
And then there's me just maniacally laughing.
But Game of Thrones would be ripe for that. Like you could really do some cool stuff with that. So
yeah.
I was interested. The moment they were like, "Oh, you can change history or do whatever," I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, here we go. Let's do it."
No,
So,
that seems cool.
yeah.
I wonder if League of Legends would be a good RTS. You have the factions. You have the champions.
Yeah, but RTS is
You need an army,
typically don't do the champions. World of
You know,
Warcraft,
you don't have,
Warcraft
like,
3 did, but you don't like StarCraft doesn't have like a champ for that.
I see.
So that
But
was
like you don't have big time units like a general or something.
Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
But that was
Well, yeah, you could do it in
that was
that
it,
style
yeah.
then.
You could.
I don't know.
But that was like the
Anyways.
last one that
It would be reverting back to because didn't Dota come from Warcraft 3?
yeah.
So it'd be like a reversion of
Right. Yeah. You just go backwards. Yeah. Sure.
Anyways.
Everyone else is doing it. Why not video games? You know.
I don't know. I just think there's something there. Like if you need a franchise that has factions.
Yeah.
Halo did RTS, right? Isn't that what Halo Wars was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it works well for Halo. I think it could work for like something like Gears.
Gears did a XCOM that was very good.
Yeah, XCOM seems very Gears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that more than XCOM. It was very fun.
I never played XCOM, but I like the idea of that. So I think if there was like I know that there's a Warhammer one,
mm-hmm.
which I think did okay.
Mechanicus.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would be something I would be like interested in.
That was a great one.
Oh yeah, Warhammer has an RTS as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Dawn of War. Yeah. Those were good.
Yeah.
I'm not an RTS guy, but yeah, you need something like that, like a franchise that has like factions and armies, obviously, and stuff. So
yeah,
check the box for Game of Thrones because it has all that.
yeah.
All
so
right.
it was like I think overall, again, like it was fine. It was good. It was interesting.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as like when we started. Like you said, it was like, oh man, everyone says it's mid.
I think if you're into anime and if you're into Souls likes, hey,
Anime.
you got this was good conference for you.
Solo leveling looked interesting.
Sure.
But I just know that those types of games are generally not good, so I didn't star it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Microsoft now.
Yep.
We're gonna wrap it up with Microsoft, and I'm gonna start with the end again.
Okay. Sensing a
I have
theme.
Call of Duty 1000.
Yep.
Yay.
26.
I don't know. 7. Black Ops 7.
Black Ops 7, but it's like the 20th,
In the
26th,
lineage of
20th,
it,
25th,
dude, I have
26th
no
game.
idea.
Yeah.
What a anticlimactic ending.
Yeah, like, and there were so many articles that came out after that saying, like, boy, why would you do, like, it makes perfect sense that you end with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But it's the lamest thing you could end with.
100%.
Because it's like nobody equates Call of Duty to Microsoft, and I'm sure that's part of the reason why they did it, is just like, hey, remember, we bought these guys. We own Call of Duty.
Yep.
Call of Duty is Microsoft. But that doesn't excite anyone. We know Call of Duty's coming.
Yeah,
like
it's a known.
Yeah.
You need to throw a curveball, and the trailer was just like a rug pull. It was like, oh, this is really interesting. What is this? And we were talking like, this could be crazy. And he goes into this world, like this Doctor Strange world, where everything's folding on itself. We're like, dude, this looks. Or at least this is what I was thinking. I was like, this looks sweet. And it's like someone says Mason. I'm like, oh no.
Yep.
And then it's like Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It's
Which
like,
that's
dude,
David, right? Is it?
I don't know.
David Mason.
I don't know.
I lost
the lore.
the thread. Yeah.
The thread was lost when we were trying to figure out the numbers.
Yeah.
That's when I lost the thread.
And
that was the first one.
The only thing that I could see that would really be interesting is if they were like, hey, this is a standalone campaign. Like, just that's it. You're not getting a multiplayer. You're not doing it. It's just like where you have your multiplayer. It would just like, that would be the only thing that would make me like
serious.
Well, no, that's the only thing that would make me sit up and take notice is if they actually made like a fully fledged, like, here's like a 20-hour campaign, like,
and no multiplayer.
It's not like, it's more of like, it's not supposed to be billed as a Call of Duty game. Like, take Call of Duty out of the title.
Yes.
It would be like Black Ops whatever or something.
I see.
But it's pulled out of that like umbrella would be the only thing that would make me like excited for it, I think. If that makes sense.
There's a better chance the Earth blows up.
100%. Yeah, no, like, it's never going to happen. I'm just saying, like, because like
the money they would lose by doing something like that.
Well, yeah, because especially Black Ops. I'm shocked they're doing Black Ops 7 right after doing 6, because that's the latest game. So not only do you do 6, now you're doing 7.
Yep.
Black Ops comes with a.
Is there a Call of Duty coming out this year?
7.
Oh, it's coming out this year.
I assume that's what they.
I didn't think they had a release date on it.
I'm sure they didn't, but yes, I'm sure it's coming out this year.
That is shocking, and there's no chance it's going to be good.
Maybe. Who knows?
Right?
Like, who knows how long it's been in development? Like, Treyarch's working on it.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, like maybe, but like when you have Black Ops, there's a certain so you have your campaign.
Yep.
You know, it's supposed to be crazy and like
crazy.
pushing the thing. Yep. You have your multiplayer and you have your zombies.
Correct.
Like, you have to have zombies in Black Ops. That's the thing.
To.
So that's a lot to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think the only saving grace would be like maybe Treyarch was a little bit less in Black Ops 6 and they were actually working more in 7. So they helped out in 6, but 7 was really kind of what they've been doing for 2 years, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But
possible.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had that.
Sure.
Clockwork Revolution.
Yep.
I was very confused by the trailer.
Yeah.
Because there was just all these different gameplay things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's an RPG, but oh no, it's a Tarkov putting guns together, and oh no, it's a, I don't know what else, whatever else they had.
Yeah.
Time rewind mechanics. I'm like, there is a lot they're trying to tell me right now, and it is a lot, very overwhelming. But I think it's interesting enough where I have it circled.
Yeah, and it has to look different because everything they've shown up to this point looked very Bioshocky. And then whenever you actually start seeing the gameplay, it's like, oh, this is like, it's like closer to like Deathloop and closer to like other types of games, which I loved. I loved that you can kind of start carving it out.
Yep.
Didn't understand it too much, but that made me more excited for it.
Yeah. I don't know if I was more excited for it. I was a little confused, but I am still looking at it.
Yeah, that it made me intrigued where I'm not just going to write it off as like, oh, it's going to be a Bioshock wannabe. Yeah,
it's something I got to take seriously.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was a very interesting trailer, though. I know it was very long, too. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Felt like.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Final Fantasy on Xbox is great, and hopefully, what this indicates is that the new Final Fantasies that come out will be on PC at launch. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Sure,
probably not, but there's a chance.
I mean, they have what? One more? It was doing
for
it 3
for 7?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it's only remake. It's not Rebirth, or did they say Rebirth too?
No, it'll have a different title. We don't know what it is.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is coming to Xbox. I think they just showed remake.
They just showed remake.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah,
and Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
which
yeah, sure.
It's a great game.
It's a good game.
It's a good game.
And even that, okay, we don't have to hash that. Yeah, good for Xbox. I mean, they deserve it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted, and then I have Rick and Morty sucks. It's the next thing.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is not.
Dude, I mean, I get hate for that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna own it.
Yeah,
I don't get Rick and Morty. Maybe I'm dumb. I think it's dumb. So that's my thought on that.
It's specifically talking about High on Life too. For that,
exactly. Dawn Walker. Everyone's super excited for this game.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It
looked
interesting.
Didn't look bad.
Yeah, like I was kind of into
it. But did it look that amazing? I'm confused on what was I supposed to be blown away by? I don't think the visuals looked amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know if the premise was super awesome. I mean, you're kind of like a vampire, I guess.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm kind of worried that vampires are going to start becoming the new zombie and the new whatever.
I see.
Because there's a lot of those coming out. But I think you could do for some more vampire games.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what in that trailer has people so excited.
There might be some background that we're just not privy
to. Probably.
Yeah.
Or I'm just a heartless person.
Yes. You could do that.
That's possible. So I consider all the possibilities, but I didn't not that I hate the game or I think it looks bad or whatever. There's a lot of hype. Even my friend that doesn't play a lot of video games is like, oh, I heard about this Dawn Walker game, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, wow, interesting. Like, that's not the one I would expect him to say. So it was, I don't know. I found that interesting. Invincible is getting a fighting game. To me, it looks like Injustice. I think a lot of people will be offended by that. Apparently, a lot of people don't like Injustice. I think it looks like Injustice. And I learned that, I guess it's the Killer Instinct people that are doing this.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
So, yeah. I think people are really excited about this.
Yeah.
I think the Marvel thing's a little more interesting to me, but I like Invincible. I think it fits very well for a fighting game.
Yeah, it looked very compared to compared to every other fighting game shown, it didn't look.
I think if you're a fighting game fan, you're excited about this. I think maybe if you're more of a pleb like me, it looks like a fighting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is very stuttery, like Mortal Kombat. Is like every hit pauses the action and stuff. So
yes,
I wasn't.
People like that. Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah,
yeah.
But again, I didn't really like Capcom versus Marvel fighting games. But this Marvel one looks real good.
It does,
like just visually, it looks real good.
Yes.
So yeah.
I had Mudang. Is that what it's called? Two Hearts.
Mudang, Two Hearts. Remind me which one that was.
It was like this.
I'm looking at
It was weird. I think it's the Korean game. I think they're Korean, and it was like this shooter kind of thing, but they were swapping the perspective of different characters, and there was like this girl who's like tasering people, and you're like this. I don't know. It seemed like you were this kind of operative or something. It was a shooter, third person,
co-op.
No.
Huh.
Look it up.
All right.
It looked cool. I don't know. I thought it looked very interesting to me, so I wrote it down.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm intrigued by.
Okay.
I don't know what it's about. Again, it was kind of all over the place, but there was enough there that I thought it was unique, and it looked pretty cool.
It's called. How do you spell the thing?
Mudang, I think. I think I typed it wrong in my thing, but
Mudang.
Yeah.
Gameplay demo. Oh, Unreal 5.
Yeah.
Sure.
That looked good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I literally, maybe I just.
Yeah, I
am
don't
not
know.
remembering this at all.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
and then Persona 4,
Yeah.
which they showed absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But super hyped about that because I think Persona 4 might be the best Persona.
Which that leaked weeks ago.
It did, which is so disappointing.
Yeah.
I hate leaks, dude.
Yeah, it's
Because it's like, I like the surprise. The surprise of the showcase, man. That's what you live for.
How do you feel about things? So like that's getting remastered.
Yep.
Tony Hawk's coming out. Excited for Tony Hawk.
I'm excited for Tony
3 and
Hawk.
4.
I did talk about that.
And then the other one
Also,
would be,
Doom Guy and Tony Hawk, hilarious. A little salty about it now, but hilarious.
So I was thinking, and how much cool? I don't know, cooler would be the right word because
Yeah.
Doom Guy skating is kind of cool.
yeah.
I kind of want a grunt from Halo. Like I was thinking, like
That
what
seems
could you
very
do? Right?
Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Like
yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what's goofy and things.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that like stuck in my head that I'm like, man, I
Little
could
grunt.
I could go for that.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have like Spider-Man back in the day, and
Darth Maul.
they had Darth Mahal. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a lot of cool guest characters.
But remaking that, and
Yep.
then Gears of War Reloaded was the one that we already kind of talked
Yeah,
about.
which I
so.
think that was such a nothing burger.
Yeah, they were showing stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this
Doesn't
is
even look
Gears.
that great.
Yeah, like it already.
I wasn't
looks
blown
fine.
away.
Yeah, yeah,
I believed you. I thought it was, this is just the remaster they did, and
yeah.
it's
but
coming to
it's
Xbox or whatever.
Technically, slightly higher res
Yeah,
stuff.
sure,
and-
sure,
yeah,
sure.
I don't know. I think that's
Gears of War 1's good, though.
that's most of it. The one thing for me anyway, Super Meat Boy 3D.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am very excited about that.
Yep.
This is honestly in the same vein as Moonlighter 2, where it's just like it looks very different. It's
Totally just
it's
an
like you're-
evolution.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I love. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's go. They did some Fallout 76 stuff, some Elder Scrolls stuff. So that thing, they're keeping those trains moving. Good. Grounded 2 didn't really care too much about, and then Resonance, which
They
is
really
a
thought we
plague
were
too.
going to care about Grounded 2. They
put a lot
hyped
of
it
time
up.
into
Oh,
Grounded
yeah.
2. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was one of their big spots. And again, this goes back to our original point. What would be a footnote in an overall show
Yeah.
now becomes
have
like a
to-
pivotal moment in the like the halfway point for the Xbox show, which I can't say nobody cares about it. I don't care about it.
Like-
we don't care about it.
You should be showing.
It didn't look. I don't know. It didn't look.
No, it's just, yeah. And there's a arachnophobic mode
Yeah.
too, where it's like you're
that's
like
right.
you're riding a spider.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like you should be showing the new Gears of War. Like you should be doing a vertical slice of the new Gears of War, and then saying like, we know you're excited for this, to kind of get you in the mood. Here's Gears of War Reloaded, out today or whatever. That's how that should have gone down.
Yep.
But everything, it's just, I don't know.
It's not ready.
not-
Obviously.
yeah, exactly.
So what are you gonna do?
And then Resonance, which is Plague Tale Legacy, which is the within that universe, which looked interesting. I really liked the second one.
liked that game, right?
Yeah, I was really shocked at how much I liked that second one.
Did you finish it?
That's a good question. I don't think I finished it, but I played a lot of it. Like
Yeah.
it was
Nice.
pretty long.
Maybe that's a game I should try because it looks good,
Looks real
right?
good. Yeah. I thought the intro was very good. It's like it's slow, but it like the
Keeps you
characters.
engaged.
Yeah, like it was pretty engaging. And then Outer Worlds 2. Did you watch the
I didn't,
real big
no.
breakdown? That might be something I do over the weekend, and then kind of.
I'm really on the fence about this. I think I want to play it. Outer Worlds 1 got like okay reviews. Mm-hmm. I think
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
purple.
Yeah.
On paper, I should really like this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's got everything I like, so I should play it. And it feels like a game that I wouldn't be lost if I just jump in with the second one because I don't think it's that serious. So.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Funnily enough, the
I'm
first one
thinking
was not super well optimized. Like I had trouble running that game. So
oh,
that
interesting.
might be
Okay.
something, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yep.
And then my favorite thing of the whole show,
Uh-oh.
Sea of Thieves.
Are you serious?
Maybe,
This is your favorite thing?
Not really. Like
Okay.
Yeah, but Sea of Thieves new faction, maybe they
Might
were a
be.
little. It was a little weird, but they were talking about smuggling, which I think is me. I'm a good
Han Solo.
sucker for a smuggler, so that really perked my ears up. I want to see what's going on with that. That'd be cool.
Now that you have a new friend in the game too,
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves.
has that reignited your passion?
It has. Passion's a strong word. Yes. I have a passion for watching him go through stuff that we've already done and completed and different things like that, and kind of living vicariously through him on the joy of like finding new things and stuff. Like that's been really fun. Like he sent a picture at like 5 a.m. as he plays Sea of Thieves all night.
Yeah.
But Jeff has like his like fire scar from the Devil's Roar. Like after you complete so many challenges and stuff, you get this, and I'm just like, man, literally remember like the time when we all got it, and we all wore it, and it was just this really cool experience. So I'm happy to see his kind of arc within that, but it's been a lot of fun. And he's great with the game, so it's been fun. It's not like I don't feel like it's I don't want to. This is going to sound terrible. He doesn't seem like a new player, right? Like new players, it's like, okay, hey, we're going to play this or whatever, and like we're going to go fight someone. We're kind of down a man because it's somebody that's new and doesn't really know what they're doing, and like he knows a lot of the new meta stuff that I have no clue. Like he's just on top of it. So it's been real fun to kind of sail with him. So
yeah,
that's
awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yeah, sure. I've been real quique on the. We'll maybe talk about it next week. No, I want to put more time into it. I did get a Switch.
Switch 2.
Switch 2.
Yep.
Nate's father ran to Target and got me a Switch 2 . So thank you, Mr.
Are you
Mortar.
serious?
Yeah. Did I not tell you about this?
Oh.
Yeah, Nate.
My uncle?
Your uncle. Nate called his dad. I was like, hey, what are you doing?
Which, by the way,
story.
Uncle Sam.
He's a great guy.
Great name.
Yeah.
Great name.
That's fair.
Fair. Isn't that sick?
He wants you. But Nick called his dad up and he was like, hey, what are you doing? His dad's like, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. And he's like, well, I'm up now. What do you want? And it's like, well, my buddy's looking for a Switch. It's kind of hard to find. It seems like they have a couple at Target, like, seeing if you could go out and do it because you're tired, that sort of thing. And he's like, I'm on it. And went and grabbed it. And
what a guy.
So I bought that and went to Texas Roadhouse and
they
did
love
the handoff
that place.
there. Yeah,
they live there.
Went in, shook his hand. I was like, hey, like thanks for getting me this system. I'm
That's awesome.
36 years old, and he was like, yeah. I think he said it was like him and like 2 other guys, and they were all getting the systems for their kids because they're just like, well, we got.
I see.
Yeah, but it was
there you go.
It was great. So
nice.
Yeah, he did. I'm indebted to him. And then Best Buy had 1 million copies of Mario Kart, so that was super easy.
Yeah. I thought it was just going to be a wasteland, but...
No, the 2 things the Best Buy had, Mario Kart and the camera.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nobody bought the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But it's a great... Like, it's the system that should have been the Switch Pro, I think.
That's what my friend David said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He was playing his buddies, so he didn't get one himself, but he was like trying to decide, and he's like, dude, this is Switch Pro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, interesting.
Which is great because it's like, hey, all these Switch games that like, I would play this more, just kind of wish it performed a little better. Like Pokemon runs like a dream.
Yep.
All the Zelda games run really well. Like, it's suddenly like, you could see what they were trying to do.
Is it worth the money?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
'Cause it's not cheap.
I am enjoying it currently. So I think it's going to be worth the money.
Very politician answer.
Well, like a lot of the games that they were showcasing in this of indie stuff, I think will run really well on it.
Yeah.
And it's like comparable to a Steam Deck. So it's like, well, and it's a lot easier to run than a Steam Deck. And it's meant to be on the TV, unlike a Steam Deck. So it's like, it's kind of blowing through all of those hurdles and stuff. And actually, the one thing we didn't talk about for the Xbox thing is Xbox is doing the Ally.
The handheld.
Yeah, which looks ugly as heck, I think.
Yeah.
But people that are using it saying it's like the most comfortable handheld they've ever held. Because it's literally just an Xbox controller with like a screen in the middle, which is... That's
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes me super interested, especially because it's Windows.
Can you get one? That'd be crazy.
If I could sell, I know.
At some point, a man has to ask himself, "How many handhelds do I need?"
Not enough. Never enough.
Yeah.
I have we redid the patio out there, so I power washed that, which
you did.
That's the one thing that they didn't show is Power Wash Simulator 2. That's coming out this year.
Yeah.
That's
gotta be on your most anticipated.
Yeah, that might actually be.
I might lose you for a couple weeks. I might lose Tyler.
People were like, "Oh, well, let's play Battlefield."
And you're like, okay, I'm sorry, bro. I got a gig.
I'm power washing. But it was Chelsea. I went out last night, so like whenever you guys were playing Battlefront, I'm like, "Hey, I'm hanging out with Chelsea or whatever."
Yes,
we were just sitting out there on the patio playing Stardew Valley together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like a really
cute.
nice kind of couples thing. Like it was
a nice
really,
night.
Yeah,
little fire
perfect.
going.
Yep,
there you go.
So
that's the dream, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right,
that's it. Yeah,
that's all we got. If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Check us out. And I'm going to get it right this time.
Sorry.
Couchcompany.games. I mean, you got to keep me honest. We're going to send them to the wrong place.
That's fair.
I think games are in a good state. I think they're in a good state. Was it the most mind-blowing show of all time? No, but I think there's a lot of things to look forward to. And there's going to be surprises.
Yeah.
There always are. That's the most exciting part for me.
Game Pass is very strong right now.
Yeah.
Like
when the games work, great deal.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
They should refund me $12. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Can you imagine if you paid for it and it did this to you?
Yeah. By the way, The Alters, have you heard of this?
Yes. Just came out. 86.
86.
Yep.
64 reviews.
Yeah.
I got to put it on the list.
Game Pass, right?
Is it really?
To be fair, let me double check. I believe so.
Okay.
That
would be crazy. Well, I was going to sign off, so if you're going to tell us something.
Okay. The
Alters. The Alters.
Game Pass. I thought it was. I thought that was something.
God, I'm so mad now that I remembered I can't play Doom anymore.
Yes, The Alters will be available on Game Pass and PC Game Pass on its launch date, June 13th.
Okay.
So add one more
add it to the list.
Highly rated game from Game Pass.
Game Pass, unbelievable.
Yeah.
I should look at it that way. Like, hey, at least I didn't pay for this game.
No, you should be upset that something's busted.
But it could be worse.
Could be worse.
It could be out $70.
True.
Instead of $12.
Yeah.
Which is a great deal. So, okay, fair enough. But that also might... All right, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
All right. Made it this far. Appreciate you. We're going to be here, same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch. Peace.